Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to discuss a very important topic. As we know that Generation Google Scholarship applications are open, and this year they have opened early, and also the end date is 10th of December, and it is pretty early, I know. So I have Shikha with me who received Google Generation Scholarship last year, and in this video we are particularly going to discuss about essays and resumes, which are a very important part of the scholarship. And in I will make a separate video in which we are going to talk about the application procedure and the eligibility criteria and everything. But in this video, we the main focus would be how to make your essays and the resume effective and how they can stand out from others. Okay. Hi Shika. So, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Hi, I'm Shikha Bhatt. I'm a third year computer science student at BITS Pilani Goa campus. I love programming and I like machine learning and data science. I've gotten into that recently. I've previously interned at CSIR IGIB, which is a biolab in India, and I will be interning at Google next summer.
Okay, that's really great. So, can you tell us, like, how did you come across that this is a scholarship that is by Google, or how did you come across the scholarship?
So the first time I heard about the scholarship was in my first year. It
Okay.
was through an email sent to us by our college. Like the college circulated an email and encouraging girls to apply for it. So I had applied first time in my first year, and then in my second year, I didn't get it in my first year, so I applied again in the second year and I got it. Then. Yeah,
Okay, so it is open for both first year and second year girls
that was the case last time.
back
This
then.
year, I think things have changed. So
Yeah.
this year, I think only second year students are eligible.
Only second year, yeah. Even I saw the application procedure in only second year.
Yeah,
Okay, so as we know that this year the applications have started early and it is going to end also early. And essays are one of the most important part of this scholarship. So can
yeah.
you give some tips that you use that helped you get selected in the program for the applicants that are applying this year?
Yeah. So, in our time, we were asked two essay questions were
Hmm.
given. One was used to test your leadership skills potential, and the other was to see how engaged you are with the women in tech community and what problems can you see arising around you. So I would say like each has to be different and kind of unique because it should be based on your personal experience. Like even if you ask somebody for their essays before,
Hmm.
you can't, it really hinders your thought process. So I would suggest to like not go through other people's essays first and then start your own, because otherwise your own creativity and all can get diminished because of
Yeah.
that. So see the question. First of all, make sure you're addressing everything that is asked in the question properly, because usually the questions have multiple parts. So each part of the question should be addressed, preferably in the same order that they've given it. And like think of your own personal experiences to go with each of those parts. And whatever you're thinking, first write it down. Like just jot it down as points. And then try to, make it a paragraph or something. And also very important to make sure your essay is in paragraphs. And just make it one whole thing.
Hmm.
That's another thing. And once you get it written, that is not your final essay. You have to get it reviewed like
Review.
two times, three times, four times, again and again until you feel that it's perfect. So you should start early.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. I also got another tip from a previous scholar. It was something like set the scene using situation
Hmm.
and the timing that it happened, where it happened, how it happened. So there are those tips that you get online on how to write essays. I would
Yeah.
suggest to go through that. That will
There's
help
some
you. And
star
also,
methodology that
yeah, yeah,
like
that
we should
exactly.
follow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you should kind of go through all that. Make sure your grammar is perfect. Use Grammarly or
Perfect.
something. And yeah, get it reviewed because the reviewing really helps. I got it reviewed by two of my friends. One was a
Hmm.
previous scholar and one was a like great friend of mine. So like there because you get a different perspective on your
Hmm.
essay, right? And you would
Essays,
want
exactly.
yeah, and it's like how the reviewer committee would read your essay. You kind of get to
Hmm.
know that. So yeah, I would suggest really get it reviewed by some people.
And also, like many students I've seen using like very heavy and typical English, I think they should not do that. They should use
Yeah,
simple
yeah.
English that
Just
even the reader
just
can understand.
narrate your story. Just narrate your story. Like in the women in tech one. Just say like if you're in a college which has less girls around you, just say that. Just say
Hmm.
you can see that and how it impacts you.
Exactly.
What chances are you missing because of that? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And just one adding to whatever you said, like the word limit, I think is very important because like the word limit is 400, and I have seen people writing 500 words essays and
Yeah.
submitting it. So obviously, like you should
And
not do that. I think.
keep it within the word limit. Keep it within one page, preferably. Keep it in the
Huh.
word limit. Because otherwise, then even the people who are reading it will kind of get off now
Both.
because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Anything else that you added in your essay and you think that that specific thing helped your essay to stand out? Maybe like some people add images or anything. Maybe you did
I
something of
did.
that
I
sort.
did add images in the leadership question.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it helps or anything, but
Hmm.
yeah, I did add images and I added reference and also added links to my essay. Not
Okay.
in the essay, but in a separate references section. So if you
Okay.
want to link an organization or something, just put a reference and the next page references and that link. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Link like at the end you added references and everything
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
mentioned in the essay. That is really nice.
Also, it
Okay.
helps to do your research, like in the women in tech question.
Hmm.
You have to sometimes state facts, like this much percentage of women, this thing. So
Yes.
yeah, so those references are also important. So do your it shows that you're well read up about the topic and everything. So it would be good to add that if you can.
Okay. Like the statistics and everything
Yeah,
people can
not a
mention.
lot, just like one line or two. Yeah,
Yeah. And apart from the essays, the documents that are asked is your resume, and it
yeah,
also plays a very important role. So, can you give some tips on a resume, like how to make it stand out?
yeah. So they ask for your resume. First of all, keep your
Yeah,
resume to one page only, max. You've not like
one.
you
Yeah,
haven't done so much in life that you can't fit it in one page, right?
yeah,
So keep it to one page. Secondly, all your major, even if you think it's not major, it is like it might be major to them. They
major.
just want to
Yeah.
see your community involvement, your leadership potential, all of these things, and this should be showcased on your resume very well. So I would say like have different sections for all of this. So I had a section such as like education on top. There's a
Hmm.
Google video saying how to make your resume. So I would suggest you all to go through that because that is how they
I'll make
want it.
sure to link it in the
So,
description
yeah,
box. Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
So my resume had education on top. After that, I didn't have any like work experience, so
Hmm.
I put like clubs and technical departments that I'm part of in college. I put that in my experience section. Then I had another leadership section where I could talk about what leadership roles I had taken up.
Okay.
And
Like in the college duration or in the school
yeah,
duration as well? College
anything,
only.
like any leadership position that you've
Okay.
had, it would be
Okay.
great if
Okay.
you could mention it. If you want to make it part of your experience also, that's
Hmm.
great. But since that's what they're looking for, kind of, it would be good if you can provide that in the section itself. And a
Yeah.
volunteering section also I had where I was talking about stuff that I volunteered in, like in college only, and also in school there are some volunteering projects that you do.
Hmm.
So that. And after that, there was projects, my technical projects. So I know that a lot of projects aren't really done in college.
Hmm.
So I would suggest like pick up one project that you can do in like a week or something, and do
Yeah.
that and make it a good talking point in your resume. It'll always help you, like even in the future.
Hmm.
So have at least one good project on your resume. You can even write like it's ongoing, something like that, so that
Yeah.
you can like speak about it in the interview or anything moving forward.
Hmm.
And you can add your college course projects as well. I did that, and any hackathons and stuff that you've participated in. So yeah, I added that as well. And one more really important thing is that they want to see your community involvement, right?
Okay.
So I have a community, Women in Tech, which I could kind of say that I founded this community, and
Hmm.
this I do all this with it. So if you have something like that, that would be amazing.
Hmm.
If you don't, talk about what communities you are part of and how you are contributing to those communities, like
Correct.
related to women in technology and how you're helping women, get empowered into this.
Yeah, and I think we should also include statistics, like whatever project we are doing. We should also include like how many people it impacted. In
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
should add numbers in our resume.
More than descriptions,
Hmm.
talk about your results basically in your resume.
Results, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and like,
also
hmm.
write it in bullet points.
Okay, okay, that
That
is
helps.
really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like some of the girls texted me that they don't even have a single project. What can they do? Like even if you start now, I think like
Yeah,
you
you can
can
do it.
complete one project in
Yeah,
one
yeah.
month.
Yeah.
The deadline is 10th December, so they have more than 1 month to complete the
And
resume,
it's not like,
the
if
project.
you actually think about it, you might have done something. Any one thing,
Yeah,
even in school, pick up anything and put it there. You might not think it's important, but it is.
it is
You
important
should,
for them.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else apart from these two, like whatever you added in your resume, or if you want to tell for resume?
For resume, I think that's it. Kind of told everything.
That is it, right? Like we cover the project section. Experience is not necessary, and hackathons. Like some people think that they can only add hackathons if they have won it. Like I think it's not
No,
the case.
you have made a
Yeah,
project out of that hackathon, no? So
yeah.
you
Even
should
if
add it
you've
in your project.
participated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't say that you've participated in dash hackathon. You have to
Hmm.
say what came out of that. What
Oh,
project did
that
you make?
hackathon.
What did you build?
Yeah.
Yeah. They want to see your participation in everything also. And also very important, the achievements section in your resume.
Hmm.
Any award that you won related to technology or science in school, in college, anything, or leadership, community involvement, all this really helps. Like an achievement
Hmm.
to put on your resume is like, I think it is
It
a must.
helps.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like I had few questions.
yeah.
Like so I'll just start one by one and you can just like some of it we already covered. So we'll see like whatever we have not covered, we will just go through it. So the first question is that should I include images in my essay? So we have already covered it, I think.
I would
You
say one
can.
thing about that. Don't
Hmm.
put it between your essay, put it towards the end. Like, don't
Towards
ruin
the
the
end.
flow of the essay with images. Put it in the end if you want to.
Yeah. And some students have also asked like if they can make a video resume and put it up in place of resume. Is that
Oh,
advice?
I don't think you should do that. Because they would want to
Yeah.
go through the PDFs, like all of them together, right? So I don't think you
Yeah.
should do that. If they've not asked
And
for
maybe
it, don't
hmm,
do that.
yeah, and what if the resumes are checked like they're tested by the machine like in the
Yeah,
initial phase or anything, then it will get rejected automatically.
yeah.
So the second question was that if I have leadership experiences but they're not technical, not related to
It's okay.
tech in
It's okay.
we should include.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. So The next very commonly asked question is, how is Generation Google Scholarship different from the WTEF scholarship? Are they are these two same or different?
As far as I know, the WTEF scholarship you have to pay for the program also. Like there's a way of paying and
Hmm.
getting into it as well.
I have no clue. I think the name just changed. I don't have any clue.
No, so WTEF is by Talent Sprint
Hmm.
mainly and sponsored by Google. And
Yeah.
there are different levels of like there's 100% scholarship, 75% scholarship, all this. And you have to actually pay fees to get into that program. And it's like
Okay.
a
Okay.
2 year, I think it's a 2 year or 1 year
2 years.
mentorship. It's
Yeah.
a full program. So that is different. This scholarship is just like a one time amount that you get.
Okay.
Like you don't have to pay for anything. You have to just apply. They'll give you if you're selected, you get an amount of $1,000, and you get like 2 days ka retreat. There's a retreat hosted by Google. Also, Talent Sprint is not involved in this. So
Hmm.
2 days retreat hosted by Google, and then like that's it for the year. There's no mentorship program and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the next question is that after the essays and the resume, I think there's a coding assessment.
Yeah.
So how can
Yeah.
I prepare for it?
So it's not exactly a coding assessment. It's a MCQ test based
Okay.
on DSA, C++, C, all this. How to prepare for it? They give you what topics and all might be
Hmm.
asked in your email when you get the challenge. So they give you what topics might be asked. They give you a practice test also. So I would
Okay.
say, even though the practice test isn't very reflective of what comes in the actual test, just go through it to see what kind of environment the test is in. Um, Apart from that, go brush up on your DSA concepts if you've done it in college. If you're in
Hmm.
second year, you might have. So brush up on your DSA concepts and your C, C++. Go through like tutorials, point to some website on the internet. And yeah, it's general coding. Like if you've programmed before, you will
Hmm.
get through the thing. Yeah.
There is no language restriction because I've heard people saying that we can use only Python in that, like only Python is asked.
No, you don't have to code
No.
anything.
Okay, it's just MCQ.
It's just MCQ. At least for me, it was
Okay.
just MCQ.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So basically the level we can say easy to medium.
Yeah, medium. Medium.
Mm. Okay. And like students have asked that is the interview technical? That is the last step of the scholarship. Like how
The
is it?
interview is just you're meeting a Googler.
Hmm.
They're trying to find out more about you, what you've done. Like they'll just talk about your resume and essays. They'll talk about your projects. Like if you
Hmm.
mention the project, they might want to go to the technical side of it as well. They'll talk about how you got interested in computer science and all that. So yeah, that is what the interview has basically. It's just
Okay.
your projects and your essays.
Projects and essays. Okay. So like you should also go through the essays before going
Yeah.
for the interview, I think.
You have to be
Yeah.
very thorough with your resume and essays before you go to the
Hmm.
interview. And I would actually recommend everyone to prepare like some question answers beforehand,
Beforehand.
because otherwise, if you get nervous and all while speaking, it's not good. Because I had gotten nervous in my first year. Like the first year I applied, I had gone to the interview round, and over there I got nervous and I couldn't
Hmm.
really say what I wanted to. I couldn't portray it what I wanted to. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I would say prepare beforehand.
And confidence is the key. Like be confident in whatever
Yeah.
you're saying, and you will get
So
through.
otherwise they won't get to know who you really are if you're all
Yeah,
nervous about
and
it.
like if you are honest in your essays and everything, then you don't have to prepare anything. It will
Yeah,
automatically come out. So be honest in your essays and
yeah,
resume both.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Next
Honest to
question is that,
like hona hi hai. They'll come to know if you're not honest. Like they'll
yeah,
catch it. This is
true,
they've gone through so much of this, so they'll catch it if you're not honest. So you should be.
true. And like you have to add links, like it is advisable to add links. So if you have
Oh yeah.
not done it, so how are you going to add links or anything?
Also in your resume, it's very important
Hmm.
to add links to your projects.
Of the
Maybe
live
if you have
projects,
proof
yes.
of your achievements,
Hmm.
all this add links wherever you can in your resume.
Yeah, and certificates also just upload it on Drive and just put the
Yeah,
link there.
yeah,
Yeah. The next question is that do you need an LOR as well for this scholarship?
no,
No LOR. Okay.
no,
Because in some of the scholarships, like they ask for an
yeah,
LOR.
yeah.
So the next question is that I have not done DSA till now. I'm in my second year. What should I do? This guy is saying I've not done DSA. You should know
Um,
DSA, right?
I mean, it's impossible to know the whole of DSA because it's like so much. But
Right.
you should know the basics at least. Like you should know arrays, you should know strings, all this. And this too they
Hmm.
teach you if you're in computer science course. They teach you in first year also. If you're not
Exactly.
in computer science, then you have to go through all this yourself if you're applying for a computer science scholarship.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
you have
and
to
as
try to
hmm.
brush up on all that yourself.
And as far as I know, like more weightage is given to essays and resume. Like coding assessment is just
Yeah.
a part of
So,
the
hmm.
procedure.
Coding assessment is, I think it's optional also. Like if you don't want to give it, don't give it. But I wouldn't recommend
Yeah, I remember last year it was like it was
it.
optional. Yeah,
So I wouldn't,
but
but I wouldn't recommend not giving it. Like give it
hmm.
for us, although unless you're like really bad and you're gonna get zero. But yeah, like give it. I think because
And there's no
it'll.
negative marking also. So
Yeah, there's no negative mark. It gives them a sense of your technical knowledge as well. Yeah.
correct. Next question is that if I have not done any projects till now, will it be okay? I think we already covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make a simple web dev or any project that you find interesting, like any domain you find interesting. You can make a simple project and just add it.
Yeah.
So,
And
like,
you
hmm,
must have done one or the other thing. It's not possible that you've not done anything in like,
yeah,
yeah. You
even in the
might just be,
college curriculum, like
yeah,
projects are there. So,
yeah.
So, Shika, I'll just read out the essay topics that are there this year and like whatever advice you have from your end, like how to go about it and everything. So, you can just give it. So, I'll just read it out one by one. So, the first topic this year is like what is the significant challenge that you believe women in tech industry face and how do you see yourself being a part of the solutions to this challenge? Keep in mind that impact can happen in many ways and at different scales.
Okay. So this is the same question
Yeah.
we were given last time.
Yeah.
Uh, it's first of all, address each part of this like
Hmm.
question. I've like said that before. First of all, which what challenge do you think that women face the most? What have you faced the
Hmm.
most? What can you
Exactly.
support your answer? Like examples of your life. What can you use that in your answer? So I would say whatever you have faced, try to put that only. Secondly, what part of the solution do you see yourself?
Yeah. And how do you see yourself being a part of the solutions to the challenge?
Yeah. So then evaluate what problems you've written down.
Hmm.
I think they've asked for one challenge only, so try to keep it to that. Like they said,
Yeah.
challenge. So keep it to that.
Yeah.
And
Part.
what when you've addressed the challenge, describe the challenge a little bit. Now
Hmm.
evaluate how you can solve, how you would solve if you had the power to,
Part.
and
Exactly.
then see if you've actually done something in your life, or if you haven't, do it in like a month. And if you can't do that, then like talk about how you would in a leadership position or
Hmm.
now itself. What all you can do, what steps you can take to make this better. and how to
Yeah,
give them a descriptive solution is better.
yeah, as you mentioned that you started a community of your own, maybe
Yeah.
like the viewers can also do similar thing in order to uplift other women in tech, right?
Yeah, but I would say that would be tough to do in a month. So yeah.
Yeah, like something
I
on those
would
lines.
mentor some students, like
Hmm,
anything. Like,
correct.
yeah, and a small initiative for a week to teach girls
Hmm.
how to code. All this
Yeah,
work.
that will also work. Correct. Also, like you can do it in the form of projects also. Maybe you can make a web dev project wherein, all the opportunities that are there for women in tech. I did it last year. So
Hmm.
for my GHC application, so all opportunities that are there for women in tech, you can just jot it, like make a website out of it. And that is a project also, and you can mention it otherwise
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
I would
the
say
other
don't,
one, hmm,
one more thing. I would say don't do it just for the sake of the scholarship
yeah,
because that is also very, it can, like, they'll understand that
they'll
if you're doing.
understand. True.
So, मतलब थोड़ा अपना भी होना चाहिए इसमें. Yeah.
Yeah, it should not be like that you get the scholarship and then the work is done. Like you should continue doing it, and
Yeah.
like it should be a part of your work. Correct. The next essay is like what impact this scholarship would have on your education. Describe any circumstance affecting your need for a scholarship. I think you can just answer the first part. Like how will you go about? What impact would this scholarship have on your education?
I think this is
Hmm.
like a scholarship,
A
like
very
they'll ask you this
uh
in the
This
interview
is
and
a
all.
personal essay. Like this is a personal topic. Like you should write your own story. Everyone has their different story, right?
Oh, this is the question for the essay. I thought you were asking
Yeah.
me.
No, no,
Okay.
no. This is the
Ah,
question for the essay.
regarding.
It's written that what impact this scholarship have on your education.
So this is again your own thing. Why you would need a
Hmm.
scholarship if you're like coming from a not so good financial background, then you should
Hmm.
definitely mention that because they want such people and they
Hmm.
want to help people out. So how it would impact your education if you're doing a computer science education that helps if you want to take a
Right.
course that is in computer science in the future or maybe master of something that would also help. So mention all this, what do you plan to do with that money and how you'll use it for computer science. That's important.
Yeah. Like in the end, it is also mentioned that like write your education goals. This scholarship will enable you to accomplish. Like exactly what Shika said.
So don't be very like
Hmm.
ambitious because it's $1,000, so 75,000 around.
You'll get.
So maybe one semester. Matlab, I don't know.
Hmm.
It depends on which college you are in. But
Yeah,
yeah, it won't like fund your education to the US and all because that's much more.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also don't fake anything that like I am not from a very good financial background because that I think doesn't really matter. So they will find out eventually and then it will be really bad.
Yeah, don't do that. Please don't.
Yeah. If it is actually true, then you should mention it. Otherwise, just
Yeah.
don't. Yeah. I think that was like all the questions. Apart from this, Shikha, if you want to, if you have any advice for the girls that are applying this year from your end.
Um, so I've actually written a blog about
Hmm.
this. So I would advise everyone to go through that once.
I'll just
There are
link it in the
links and all
description.
also. Yeah. There are links and all also. And I would say just don't before applying. I know it's scary. Like I was not going to apply in my first year. Like I
Hmm.
was gonna be like, what have I done to get a scholarship and all? But don't do that. Don't self reject. Just apply. Nahi mila to nahi mila. It's okay. Life will be as it is if you don't get it.
Exactly.
But if you get it, that will be a very good thing for you aage jaake. So
Hmm.
apply, and even if you don't get it, you've gone through that application experience. You've gotten to know a
Exactly.
lot about how women in tech, like the
I'm the
industry.
live example of that, like whatever Shikha is saying. Like I did not receive it, but I'm glad that I applied it and I put my 100% in it.
Yeah, because you get to learn so much. Going through
True.
that, like, see, I didn't get it in my first year. I went through the whole
Hmm.
process. I didn't get it, but that really helped me in my second year,
Yeah,
to get
that
it.
is true.
And there are a lot of such opportunities that will come, like other, like Adobe's Women in Tech Scholarship.
Hmm.
There's a lot of other companies that have this kind of thing. So it will help you in those things. Maybe not right now, but later, if you don't get it. But if you get it, that will be really great.
Then
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Also, like most of the applications have this essay procedure. So like I prepared for Generation Google Scholarship, like in my second year, and then I prepared for GHC. So I was not able to get this one, but I
Yeah.
got the other one.
But
So I
yes,
think
exactly.
that, yeah, I had to put, I think, 50% or 40% of the efforts that I put it in this one, because I already knew how should I write my essay. So
Correct.
yeah, you should
Correct.
apply.
Yeah. That'd
Yeah,
be
so
one
thank. Hmm.
to like not self reject. And I don't know, just do your best. Yeah, I guess.
Just apply. Just stop this video and apply right now.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Shikha, for taking out your time.